Jenom si dám tu I mean, that's what
Nastal úplný YouTube efekt, všichni stále na hlavu.
Hey, don't move, right? Aqui a gente está a ver o...
Podařila se nebo ne, Aha, a jsi schopný ho nadiktovat do zápisu, ten text? Nebo ne? Mikuláš, máš ten text?
Univerzální postscript driver.
Tak já asi bych to udělal jednoduše. Dáme odkaz na pad je v zápise, takže kdo nevládne anglicky, zapisovatele, na jaké adrese je zápis? Lomeno P, lomeno co? Takže lomeno CF zápis, tam bude odkaz na překlad Ameliiny řeči pro ty, kdo nevládnou anglicky. A jak je na tom záznamová technika?
Ty mě skenuješ jak sloutna, ty.
Takže jsem připraven. So, let me welcome here Amelia Andersdotter, Pirate MEP from the Swedish Pirate Party. It's the first Pirate Party in Europe and the world. And Amelia is our very welcomed guest on many of our assemblies and conferences. So, welcome again.
Thank you very much, Mikuláš, for this warm welcome. I hope that the translation is sorted out. So, pirates and friends, you will be setting your election lists not this weekend, as I had anticipated, but later. But you will at least be hearing your candidates. So that's good. And the translation doesn't cover that because I hadn't realized. So we're moving up for the European elections in 2014 in this weekend. It marks the beginning of a new year and it marks the beginning of new elections. 2014 should be a year of new beginnings. The surveillance revelations from the United States and also from the European Union have been ghastly. Even more shocking is the lack of European political response to these revelations. We are running a deficit of political leadership in the European Union. And leadership is difficult. This is why we, the pirates, must work together to get the European Union better political leadership. Surveillance and mass control and fear are tools of centralized regimes. But this should not be Europe, and it's not the cooperation that we should be wanting for ourselves and as pirates for the future. We are peers, and we want to be on an equal footing. For some to spy and for others to be spied upon and be controlled is not okay, and we must change that in the election campaigns of 2014. I've had a lot of opportunities to think about what it means to be a leader. and what it means to be afraid. And Europe is a very scary place. It's very diverse, and we have a lot of differences between ourselves as different cultures. Today I learned that Czech people eat salty breakfasts, as do I, but in many places in Europe they will start the day by eating jam. And these are all differences that we need to take into account when we make our policies. When you're a leader, you additionally need to be able to recognize these things that makes us us, and make the right choices at the right times, and make them in a knowledgeable way. We the pirates must come together, and we must ensure that these choices are made in a way that is good for us, that we can cooperate in an equal footing. And we have the task of explaining why the internet actually still is a tool that people can trust and should be using in their day-to-day lives. We must praise the internet for its decentralized values, why it enables us to cooperate as peers. It's no accident that Europe is the place where we have had torrent trackers be the primary social networks. Why is it that Mininova was Dutch, the Pirate Bay Swedish, Demonoid Ukrainian, or Oink was from the UK? It's because in Europe we're just fundamentally good at building structures and technologies for peers. Why was it that we invented peer-to-peer voice over internet protocol technologies in Europe? Because we need these platforms, because we are diverse, and some of us have salty breakfasts, some of us have sweet breakfasts, and the technologies can help us preserve those differences while at the same time we cooperate. But pirates, the copyright reform is coming. This is of course the time that we can ensure that torrent trackers are made legal and that we can use these tools with certainty. I am proud to say that I have cooperated with Czech pirates over the last few weeks to enable there to be a way for Czech citizens to immediately start helping out affecting the direction of European policymaking. I urge all of you to visit www.pirati.cz and look the Czech translation guides for the copyright consultation before February 5th. The Commission is highly unlikely to take you into account if you go there after February 5th. So do it before that time, because this is when we set the framework for what our members of parliament will be doing after the elections in 2014. And without the help of everyone, they will not get a good basis for their work, and it will be much more difficult for us to build the future that we need. So that leaves the challenges also of internet surveillance. But I would argue that the decentralized and distributed and equal footing of Europeans has the solution also here. For a very long time, politicians have been arguing that they do not want to affect markets, and that the markets isn't their thing. But the fact is that the security policies of nation states do build markets and do influence where we're going. And we are currently in a security doctrine which doesn't work for us. It is clear, for instance, that law enforcement agencies should not be deploying Trojans on the internet, because why we would want the police, out of all public authorities, to be deploying Trojans? We do not. So we need to have some reforms in this area. At the European level, we need to make peace through trade. The internet is a platform where we cooperate on equal footing as peers, and we, the pirates, have solutions for how to make this happen with the decentralized architecture of the internet preserved. And that is going to be a big challenge that comes to us in basically every piece of legislation now. Pirates can no longer just focus on telecommunications policy or copyright. We must look at how automobile regulations remove the power from people and put it in the hands of technology companies. We have the immense challenge of ensuring that the legislation that we do is actually enforced. Because actually, there's many European laws that aren't technically too bad. They already, and in the spirit of European cooperation, emphasize empowerment of the individual, decentralization, and collaborative security and safety, but we're not enforcing them. So one of the biggest challenges that I can see for any legislative institution in Europe is how do we ensure that the moral values we want to uphold are the ones that are actually being upheld in the technology, in the law, and in the social interactions between Europeans. But for all of this to happen, of course, first we need for the European election campaigns in 2014 to work out. Therefore, I urge all of you to consider very carefully your choices for your list, and I hope that we can make one hell of a campaign together leading up to the last of May. Thank you.
I was thinking to say a few words to that. We recently agreed on the cooperative European Parliament election program, though. And I just like to thank you that you arrived here. And I hope for incoming primary elections for the pirates that are gonna be pushed up and the people who are gonna participate in the EP election will know that it's gonna be a hard work. And actually the last election for the senator showed us that nothing's for free for pirates. So it's gonna be the hard work for us. Jenom rychle, jak jsme se cítili, by to nadšení nebo zklamání po volbách,